In the vibrant village of Essika, where the drums echoed wisdom and moonlight bathed the cocoa groves, lived a wealthy farmer named Wekou Atto. A man of integrity and quiet strength, Wekou was respected as much for his generosity as for his flourishing farmlands. He had married Afee, a woman whose heart was as deep as the forest and whose words soothed like rain on dry earth. For 10 years, their home lacked only one thing, a child. Yet, Wekou's love for Afee never wavered. He saw in her not just a wife, but a partner of the soul. Though urged by elders to take another wife for the sake of legacy, Wekou hesitated. When he finally took Essika, a younger woman known more for her beauty than her humility, it was done with a heavy heart. Still, Wekou never allowed his affection for Afee to diminish. He honored Afee with daily acts of love. He brought her hibiscus tea at dawn. He insisted she sit beside him at every gathering, and every market day, he returned with something that reminded him of her, a patterned cloth she admired once in passing, an old folk book she mentioned loving as a child. He still called her, God's gift to me. He built a prayer hut beside her garden so she could sit peacefully at sunset. And even when Essika bore him a son, he told the elders plainly, this house will not know a mother greater than Afee. When Kojah, the son born of Essika, was 6, Wekou asked Afee to take him in. Though wounded, she agreed. If the boy must grow in truth, let him live where love dwells, she said. Afee did not treat Kojah as a reminder of betrayal. Instead, she treated him as a testimony of grace. She taught him not just how to read, but how to reflect. She showed him how to feed the fowls before himself and speak gently to elders and servants alike. In time, Kojah came to revere his stepmother, calling her Mommy Afee with the same fondness a child reserves for his own mother. When she fell ill one harmattan morning, he refused to eat until she smiled again. He brought her flowers and a basket of fruits. He never left her side. He once said to her quietly, if children were given the choice of mothers, I would have chosen you. Afee's household ran like a symphony. Her servants were respected, well-fed, and cheerful. Her courtyard always smelled of herbs and shea butter. Her rules were simple: speak kindly, share freely, and work with joy. Her laughter was soft, but when she spoke, even Wekou listened. Essika's home, by contrast, was a place of sharp words and suspicion. Her servants feared her moods. She was quick to dismiss them, often accusing them of stealing or gossiping. Her compound felt tense, always clean, but never warm. She wore fine beads and expensive wrappers, but kindness never touched her tone. Afee once said, it's not the cooking pot that brings flavor to soup, but the heart that stirs it. Essika, unable to accept her second place in Wekou's heart, plotted several times to disgrace Afee. But Kojah, now observant and wise beyond his years, gently foiled each plan, not with malice, but with love and wit. When Essika sent cur soup, Kojah sniffed it and offered it to the goats. When they became ill, he joked, perhaps the soup was too royal for their stomachs, and Afee remained untouched. When a letter was forged to accuse Afee falsely, Kojah swapped it for a letter he wrote himself, praising her and his father. The chief smiled when he read it, and Essika's plan crumbled. When a talisman was planted, Kojah noticed the intruder, startled him and threw the charm far away from the house. Still, Kojah never told anyone his mother's role. Instead, he continued to shield Afee and pray for Essika's heart to change. One day, when Wekou fell ill and lay near death, a sacred ritual was prescribed. Only the tears of a woman who truly loved him could heal him. Essika cried loudly, even beat her chest, but not a single tear fell. Afee, however, knelt and whispered through trembling lips, I cannot lose the man who made me believe I was enough. Her tears flowed freely. Moments later, Wekou stirred. When his eyes opened, he took Afee's hand and said, your love is the thread that held me to life. Defeated but watching silently, Essika's hardened heart finally cracked. She saw the joy Kojah shared with his stepmother, the respect everyone had for Afee, and the quiet dignity in the way Afee never retaliated. One market day, Essika arrived with a gift of expensive beads and lace fabric, and said, "I envied what I never understood. You did not win, Afee. You just never lost yourself." Afee took her hand gently and replied, "Even the moon does not compete with the sun. Each has its time to shine." Years passed, and Kojah, now a man of wisdom and grace like his father, married a kind-hearted woman named Essika, who shared his quiet strength and deep reverence for family. Together, they built a life rooted in love and simplicity. Not far from the very home where Kojah had learned his greatest lessons. They were blessed with 3 children. 2 daughters, Adine and Yaya, and a spirited son named Jetta. And from the moment they could walk, the children would race across the dusty path to Afee's home, their giggles ringing through the compound like wind chimes in a breeze. Afee's once quiet courtyard bloomed with laughter and life. She wove them Kenti dolls, told endless folktales under the mango tree in her yard. She let them play in her garden, fed them sweet banana and coconut, and gently braided their hair while humming old songs their father once loved as a boy. One day, little Jetta tugged her wrapper and asked, "Grandma, are you a queen?" Afee laughed softly. "No, my child," she said, "I am simply a woman who chose to love. And love came back to me." And so, Afee lived her later years wrapped in the arms of joy, surrounded by grandchildren who adored her, a son she never bore but called her own, and a legacy woven with kindness, resilience, and quiet triumph. True love is not loud or possessive. It is in small, enduring acts, in the warmth of kindness, the strength of forgiveness, and the courage to do what is right, even when no one sees. And sometimes, the greatest strength is not in winning someone's love, but in never losing your own heart. What is your takeaway from this story? Share it in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more stories that entertain, inspire, and uplift.